There's a light in the sky, rising in the air. There's a feeling so strong. It's time to light the fire, like a bright shining light. Learn, getting more out of life. Love, sharing time with friends, feeling so strong.
Hello, welcome to the House of Wellness, brought to you from beautiful Hawaii. Great to be here with the team. Rachael Finch, Hines, Joe Stanley. How good's this, guys?
Aloha. Aloha, Das. We are here on the world-famous Waikiki Beach on the island of Oahu. Famous, of course, for its white sands, its surf, the incredible Diamond Head behind us. You know, this whole area used to be a retreat for the Hawaiian royal family. And looking around, it's easy to see why.
It is so magical. And did you know, guys, that Waikiki actually means spouting fresh waters in Hawaii because of all the nearby springs and streams. But this tropical paradise is a wealth of wellness, and we're going to give you an insider's view into what health and wellness means to the Hawaiians.
Guys, check out this legendary water. This island is a surfing mecca. World champions cut their teeth right here. And I tell you what, I don't know about you guys, I can't wait to grab a board and head out myself.
I'm a chance to join you, Hines, on that one. A short flight from here is what's known as the Big Island, one of the most majestic volcanoes in the world. You're going to love it. Stick around. It's the House of Wellness Hawaiian Special.
Without volcanoes, there would be no Hawaii. And there's no better reminder of that than the Big Island's Kilauea volcano. The world watched in awe when it erupted in 2018, spewing molten lava into the air, forming deadly rivers, destroying homes, and displacing over 2,000 people.
One of the most challenging things about this eruption was how long it lasted, between 3 and 4 months. That was really a long, slow-motion disaster, which is hard to relate to anything else that happens on Earth because you're really in a state of uncertainty for a long, long time.
Philip Ong is a volcanologist. He's been living in and studying Kilauea for the last 20 years.
The eruption last year impacted 2 different parts of the volcano. One down in Lower Puna, where the lava came out, but also the area at the top of the volcano, the summit where we are here, where there were thousands of earthquakes every day. People weren't able to sleep through the night as this whole crater behind me collapsed down 1,600 feet farther than it had been.
In some parts, the lava flow is 10 metres thick. It'll take decades to cool.
You know, Hawaiians believe that until it's actually cooled, it is the spirit of Pele. And so it can take any shape or form, it can change, it can flow many different ways, produce many different textures.
Pele is the fire goddess, and here on the Big Island of Hawaii, her spirit is ever present. There are 4 other active volcanoes on the island.
Mauna Loa, the volcano behind this one, is a much larger volcano, the largest shield volcano on a planet. It dwarfs Kilauea's size as well as its activity. Over the last 2,000 years, Mauna Loa has erupted on average every 7 years, with its last eruption in 1984. So we expect something to happen sooner than later.
Just last week, 100 small magnitude earthquakes were detected 5 kilometres below ground level. As geologists continue to monitor its activity, all Hawaii can do is wait for the sleeping giant to wake up.
Now, Hines, are you aware that Hawaii grows by 42 acres every year with the Kilauea volcano's lava dripping into the ocean?
Well, mate, did you know that the lava fields of Mauna Loa, which is one of the world's biggest volcanoes, was actually used as the training ground for astronauts before they went to the moon? And it's got a bit of a lunar vibe to it, so you can definitely see why.
Fair to say I didn't know that, Hinesy, but I know where you're going with the lunar vibe. And hey, I'm looking forward to this up next. Joe Stanley's looking for a Hawaiian souvenir of a more permanent variety. Don't know what's going on, but you need to stick around and see it next on the House of Wellness.
Feeling so strong.
Welcome back to the House of Wellness. When I think of Polynesia, I think of a gentle people, of their connection with the land and the sea, and of intricate body art. So I'm finding out what ties those three things together in the form of storytelling on the body. Kali'i Makua is not just a tattooist. He's one of the very few tattoo priests qualified to practice the rare art of uhi, ancient Hawaiian tattooing, all done needle-free by hand tapping onto the skin.
I don't consider myself a tattoo artist or an artist or a tattooist. I am a keeper of significant cultural knowledge. And in that sense, I'm bound by the laws of our culture.
He kani kapulalaia kukulua avamailani mai.
When you say that there are cultural laws, what am I looking at?
Imagine a man being very strong and muscular and very masculine. And he'll do something, he may be right-handed, and he'll do something all over his right side, shoulder, chest, arm. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, this is my strong arm. Wouldn't you want to strengthen and recognize your weak side?
Okay.
So do you want to be overbearingly strong, or do you want to be balanced?
The process isn't as simple as rocking into a tattoo shop with your design. This is a ritual of prayer and cleansing and long preparation. And first, you have to convince Kali'i that you're worthy of the tattoo that he chooses for you.
If we're going to do that to your body, what are we going to talk about? That will dictate where we'll put it. So things on my body are specific for things that I do, things that I'm about, what I've learned, the steps that I walk.
Does that mean at times you've said, no, I will not tattoo you?
Yeah,
Really?
absolutely. You need to earn this. You need to know why you would do something like this. You need to know who you are, and by knowing who you are, you need to know who you came from,
Yes.
and where they came from,
Yes.
and what they were about.
Right.
This is mamane, and the heart of this wood, if I sanded this, the dark part would be purple.
The tools are similar to those used thousands of years ago. The ink is made from candle nut and soot, and Kali'i hand makes every tool in his kit.
We use bone from the albatross, which is a mole.
Right.
So the thing about that bone, it's not porous as, say, human bone, cow bone, whale bone. It's very solid, dense, but it's very thin and lightweight. I have albatross and I do have human. And I won't tell you where I got that from. Some people freak out. I don't go to the bone house for that. No.
The process is sacred. It takes concentration and patience.
It's two words, ka or ta and kau or tau, means to place and tap.
Okay.
So we're striking at the same time as we're placing. Some people think we place and whack it. That's not real. It's about timing.
And I see that you've
Stretching.
got... Yes, stretching.
Yeah,
Explain
absolutely.
stretching.
Imagine a drum. It
Yes.
won't resonate and make sound or reverberate if it's not tight.
Yeah.
Skin has to be tight to puncture.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's just bouncing in and out,
Yeah, right.
like a trampoline.
There's no one size fits all. Men generally get tattooed on the left side of their body, and every pattern tells a story about the person.
So this work on my face is specific to me and what I'm about. It's not beautiful looking, but it's for me. And when I first did this, everybody panicked. Why'd you do that? So ugly. It's for the essence of it.
Right.
So aesthetic value, secondary.
For Kali'i, reviving this ancient art is all a part of recapturing this proud Hawaiian heritage in an indelible bond.
In all honesty, this is a rebirthing process. Women give birth naturally. Men give birth through this process. This is a male-dominated priestly practice.
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't it amazing to think, Joe, what a tattoo can say about a person?
Oh, and I love, Rach, that the tattoo has to be earned, which I think is really special in today's day and age of consumerism, where it feels like everything can be bought.
Well, speaking of beautiful, sacred things, we are here at the gorgeous Kualoa Park, and it's actually where Hawaiian chiefs used to bring their kids to learn about traditions and heritage. And I mean, look at that sparkling water. The view right out to Mokulihi Island, also known as Chinaman's Hat.
Yeah, so legend has it that the island was created from a dragon's tail that was slain by a female goddess and thrown into the bay. Isn't that beautiful?
So cool.
So many amazing stories. But right now, let's check in with Hinesy, who's in Hawaiian heaven, because he's found a place that combines his two biggest loves, surfing and great food.
I've come across this small yellow shack on the north shore of Oahu, covered in affirmations and people lining up for colourful food and my favourite, bullet coffees. Here I find Travis Smith, professional boarder and international fashion model, and one of the brothers who started the shack.
Trav, what an incredible location. How did this Sunrise Shack come about?
We started the Sunrise Shack 3 years ago, and we started actually with the bulletproof coffees. It's funny, I found this amazing bulletproof coffee recipe that I thought was the best I've ever had, and a lot of times before we would all go surf like pipeline and stuff, I would bring all the equipment over to people's houses and we'd make it for like 15 people. So this was just supposed to be a little pop-up, and I just wanted to sell the bulletproof to surfers, and that was the only idea in the beginning.
And I'll do the golden bullet.
Golden bullet?
Yeah.
Which size would you like?
Let's do medium.
The idea has now skyrocketed, with 2 Sunrise Shacks in Hawaii and a further 4 in Japan.
Medium? Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Back home in Oz, I am known for what I call a power-up coffee. Now, you said you'd mastered the perfect bulletproof.
Yeah.
What's in yours? I want to compare notes here.
I mean, honestly, the way I look at it is you just try to find the best coffee you can. And when I'm talking about the best coffee, I'm talking about quality, not taste. So try to find one that's just single origin. Just blend it with good, healthy fats, you know? MCT oil, that stands for medium chain triglyceride. That's pretty much just a medium chain fat that happens in coconut oil. And that's really good for like your brain. And then grass-fed butter. If you don't do dairy or if you don't do any animal kind of products, we put coconut cream instead of the butter.
As the popularity of the shack has grown, so has its menu. From just 3 bullet coffees to a whole range of smoothie bowls.
Mate, what are these?
Here you go, Luke. So this is the tropical bowl, and here's the acai bowl.
Mate, these look absolutely incredible. I'm not sure which one to dig into first. There is no doubt that these bowls are very Instagrammable, as are you and your brothers. You must have people coming here to have a selfie with you, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes me, but definitely way more with the shack.
You're so modest.
No, I mean, this little yellow shack is just classic. You know, people come with their yellow dresses and their pineapple dresses and all kinds of little props and things, and it's an amazing world we live in with the Instagram stuff. It's pretty cool.
You've got this passion and knowledge for health and wellness. I mean, we're in a world where there's fast food absolutely everywhere. How passionate are you passing this message on?
Oh, totally. I mean, I think it's the future, you know? I think the Sunrise Shack, we're not here to try to make money. We're here to try to spread awareness about good food. And, like, I think a lot of people think healthy food tastes really bad. You can actually make it taste really good. I mean, I would rather have one of these smoothie bowls than any ice cream. You know, I can't even remember the last time I had ice cream. So we're all about, you know, high quality ingredients and sourcing locally. We deal with farmers all around the island. We don't really want to ship stuff like oranges from Brazil. Like, that's not good for the world, you know? We have better oranges here anyway. I mean, yeah, that's definitely really important to us.
So strong.
welcome back to the House of Wellness in Hawaii. Now, Hinesy, have you come down from Cloud 9 after your experience at the Sunrise Shack?
I got to say, it was so good catching up with Trav. He really inspired me. He takes his own experience with his own health to impart it onto others to make them healthier and happier. It was so cool.
What a great guy. But I know there's something you'll love just as much as good food and surfing, and that is organic, locally brewed iced tea. Okay. Have a taste of this. It's called Shaka iced tea.
Oof, that is good. It's not sickly sweet.
Yep, naturally low in sugar, naturally low in caffeine, and the people who make it are incredibly passionate about sustainable farming.
Sign me up for 20 litres.
We're in heaven. Cheers to that. Let's meet the team behind it. There's coffee people, and then there's tea people.
I grew up drinking tea, loved tea. You grew up drinking mamaki.
Yeah, and tea was the first present I bought him when we started dating in college.
Not.
Hawaiian-born Bella Hughes and husband Harrison are all about the tea.
Aloha, I'm Bella Hughes and I'm one of the co-founders of Shaka Tea. We're Hawaii's first line of bottled herbal mamaki tea on the market.
Bella's been downing cups of tea made from the mamaki leaf for years. Who knew? Well, the Hawaiians did. They use it as a wake-me-up kickstarter and as a natural detox.
Mamaki, it's an incredible plant. It's been used for centuries as a health tonic that is only found and grown one place in the entire world, the Hawaiian Islands.
A rare leaf indeed. And although there are dozens of strains across the island, no one had ever bottled it before, until Bella and Harrison took the native nettle and trialled it in their kitchen at home before turning it into a sugar-free iced tea.
Having something that comes from this place alone and is only found here is just, I find to be very special, very moving, very cool, you know?
Ren is one of a handful of local farmers who jumped at the chance to grow it.
The variation is quite different too.
Yeah. Mamaki grows so fast in this climate. The plants are harvested regularly, and that means the farmers get a year-round income.
They're giving them an amazing price per pound so that they can live really decent lives. And they're doing something that is going to benefit and does benefit the entire community. Because this is the only place in the world that it's found, right? And so as a farmer, that gives me a lot of security to know that my job isn't going to be taken away from me, given to somebody else in another part of the world, and that it's something that I might be able to do for the rest of my life.
And as for the name, well, you can't get more Hawaiian than that either.
It's the Shaka symbol, the universal symbol of Hawaii. It means take it easy, it's all good. Mahalo!
Hines, you feel like I might need one of those Shaka Teas after our hike to get here.
Mate, you're telling me right here is the site of the Halona blowhole. Now, all of these rock formations are created by molten lava flowing into the sea, creating incredible caves that you can explore.
Hawaii's known for its big surf, and behind us is some of the most powerful waves in all of Hawaii. That is Sandy Bay Beach out the back there. You can almost feel the power of the ocean where we're standing right now.
Mate, not my cup of tea to get in there. I think I definitely need something to calm me down.
Well, you might want to head to the hemp farm, and that's where we're going next.
Almost 40 years ago, Cab Baber was lured to Hawaii by the thrill of the surf.
I was taking a break from my engineering school in Virginia, and I thought I'd take a break and just come to Hawaii and catch a little surf. But I fell in love with it, and I called home about 6 months later and said I'm not coming back, and stayed ever since.
These days, he splits his time between catching waves and working on his hemp farm.
It looks like marijuana, but it's not. It's a sister. It's hemp. It has no psychoactive ingredients.
The hemp farming came second. What came first was the desire to produce real food.
My aunt and my grandmother did a lot of chemical farming, and I knew that that had consequences. And so I wanted the best produce and fruits that I could produce. We've seen such damage done to fields with commercial farming. And so that's why I was attracted at rejuvenated farming and increasing the health of the soil as opposed to depleting it.
What he found was the rich Hawaiian super soil was perfect for growing hemp. It thrives here,
We'll extract an oil from these plants once the flowers are mature and finished, and then that oil will be processed for tinctures and salves and honey.
Well, and hemp protein is such a nice, well-rounded form of protein too, so one day...
Not only tastes good, but highly good for you, right?
Yep.
Hemp has no THC, an ingredient found in marijuana, but it's highly sought after as a natural pain reliever.
So we've had one of the best testimonials about our product here in Hawaii, and a 4-year-old young man ended up from 40 seizures a week to only 1 using our products, rubbing it on their shoulders. This was a big song for me to continue on with a really good thing.
CAB worked tirelessly to pass the hemp legislation in Hawaii, and in 2018, he and his partner Gail were granted the state's first license to grow it.
Well, we're super excited about it because it's offering a huge population that we have in the world, and we're looking at giving them real pain relief without the side effect. They're making comb outside the hive. Normally they make the comb inside the boxes and store that. They're underneath right here, they're making comb, and their wax is really beautiful, bright yellow wax.
The bees collect pollen from our hemp field so that it's naturally infused into the honey. The other aspect about the honey that's really unique is that they also collect pollen from our Christmas berry here, which has similar properties to manuka, which is very medicinal.
Honey and hemp, the 2 H's, both oozing promises of the other H word, health.
Hemp is my focus now because it is, as I see it and others have seen it for many years, the savior of our world's challenges. It will fulfill all of our needs that we're looking to fulfill in an environmentally restorative fashion. And so we can have all the things that we want and plenty more with a fruitful planet.
Still to come on the House of Wellness, Hines reels in a traditional Hawaiian fish dish, and Joe gives us the inside mail on the link between ancient Egypt and Hawaii. That's coming up next on our House of Wellness Hawaiian Special.
Feeling so strong.
Welcome back to the House of Wellness in Hawaii. I'm here at the Valley of Temples, an amazingly tranquil place where you can find statues, temples, amazing memorials, bringing together pretty much every religion from around the world in harmony. And there's a real spirituality in Hawaii, and that's why thousands of people come here every year to experience it. Even the spa treatments are sacred, just as I found out. Anyone who knows me knows I love a massage. But I've never had one that begins like this. For over 20 years, Malia has been practicing Lomi Lomi, an Indigenous Hawaiian form of healing that has evolved over centuries.
So Lomi Lomi originates really in all parts of the island chain. There are different families that have different traditions, different islands have different traditions, and unfortunately what we know of Lomi today is only a small portion of what used to be a robust healing practice.
This practice includes massage that Malia was first taught by her own family.
I was massaged when I was a baby by my mom, and she was massaged by her dad, and her dad by his mom. And so when somebody comes in for a Lomi Lomi treatment, I center myself and imagine all of my ancestors standing up on my shoulders, and all of that insight will come down through my hands.
Malia also draws her inspiration from nature.
The ocean is something that is common to everyone in Hawaii because the islands are so surrounded by water on all sides. So as I work, if you can just imagine waves sliding up into the sand and then back into the sea. Sand has a tremendous cultural significance. A lot of our healing practices take place by the ocean, and so a lot of the movements that we do in Lomi Lomi are beautifully supported by the sand. In the body, we have many layers We have the superficial layer of the skin. We have the muscle layer. We feel the bones underneath. And the ability to sense the fine and minute differences between the tissues is something that can be honed using sand. So if I can use this means to build strength and sensitivity in my lomi, then I can also see how this is helping me to develop the motions of hula. It's all connected.
That connection is reflected in her work as a kumu hula, a master teacher in the art of hula dancing.
I grew up actually hating hula for many years. I struggled so badly with hula, and it was my father that forced me to stay, really.
Many Hawaiians believe that the hula has become commercialised, and so families are practising together and passing on the tradition.
There's a saying among hula dancers that is, hula is life. So hula is an expression of everything that surrounds us in nature. So even looking at the hula skirt, these are like the folds of the mountain. And so when we place the skirt on our body, we're bringing in the strength, the upright beauty, and the grace of the mountains into our dancing. And so we're gonna do just a few hula gestures that evoke the land. So hands right in front, and then reach behind and come around to show the island. And since we're right here at the beach, we're gonna show the ocean waves. Beautiful, and then the sparkling sand, just a soft little sprinkle, and then gathering flowers, fingertips together, beautiful, and just a little higher, and gathering all the things that we love right into the heart. I love that you ended with love.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
What a beautiful experience. Thank you.
Happy Hour in Hawaii is all about cocktails and pupus, which are small Hawaiian tapas. And there's no greater pupu than coconut shrimp or prawn with a delicious mango mayo. To start with your mayo, you need to separate your egg yolks. Add a little bit of apple cider vinegar and whisk till smoothed. I'm using Bioglan organic coconut oil as the base for my mayo. It contains medium-chain triglycerides, which is very slow-releasing forms of energy which are easily absorbed and easily burnt. Flavour the mayo with mango and a touch of turmeric for colour. Next up, we're going to coat the prawns in flour, egg, and coconut. Once all the prawns are coated, I'm going to cook them in Bioglan organic coconut oil. Serve your coconut prawns and mango mayo with a tropical cocktail and a sunset. You'll have your own little piece of paradise, no matter where you are.
The air is so fragrant here in the Valley of the Temples. The garden is full of flowers. It's just so aromatic. Your sense of smell really does come alive here. So it's no surprise that two Hawaiian University professors came up with the ambitious plan of recreating the perfume of an Egyptian queen who reigned thousands of years ago in a land far away. Professor Robert Littman has a very big claim to fame. Not only has he led some of the most significant archaeological digs in Egypt, he's got the recipe for the perfume worn by the most powerful woman of the ancient world, Cleopatra.
The best perfume in all the world was the Mendesian perfume that came from Egypt. So we started excavating at this site in 2007, and so we knew about the reputation of this site for a perfume.
It was during the decade-long excavation of the ancient city of Timai that Robert and his team discovered a perfume factory with a treasure of vials still intact.
We're here at Timai LMD, which is a Hellenistic site. The city was founded probably in about the 5th century BC.
The perfumes were nothing like the alcohol-based versions of today. They were oily and aromatic and lasted for up to 8 years. And for Cleopatra, they were a very important tool.
Do we know that Cleopatra wore perfume?
Oh, yes. We have a lot of ancient sources tell us about it. She had her own perfume factory.
Wow.
She made her own perfumes. She clearly wore this Mendesian perfume. It was the Chanel No. 5 of the ancient Egypt. Whether she wore it regularly, we don't know. She certainly would have tried it, just like I'm sure you've tried Chanel No. 5.
Of course.
Sometime in your life.
Yes.
When she first went to meet Mark Antony, I think she took perfume and doused the sails of her boat with perfume.
Oh, that is so romantic.
He could smell her.
As she arrived.
As she arrived,
harbour.
yes.
A Queens of Egypt exhibition in Washington this year was the catalyst for making the perfume.
So we started with moringa oil, and then we added myrrh and cassia and cinnamon. And this was all ingredients that Dioscorides says was in the Mendesian perfume.
It all sounds intriguing. So what did it smell like?
It would smell woody. It's cinnamony, slightly cinnamony resin smell. It doesn't have flowers in it. There
It's not sweet.
Not sweet,
or
no.
floral.
No, or floral, no. It's more woody, pine, cinnamony, that combination of it.
Powerful, just like her.
Yes,
Strong.
Strong, yes.
However, Cleopatra, one of the most fascinating and charismatic figures of history, I'm sure she brought with her her own seduction.
Oh, yes. I mean, of course, the perfume was just an aid.
One of the projects Robert gives his students is to create the perfume. So here's the ingredients. He tells me the trick is in the blend. But as for the seduction part, well, that one's up to you.
Well, from smelling sweet on the outside to a Polynesian spice with healing powers to keep us healthy on the inside. Gerald, what remedy recipe have you got for us today? And welcome to Hawaii.
How amazing is this place, Rach? The scenery, the beach, the water, the people, just quite amazing. And to keep things nice and local, we're going to talk about olina, which is the Hawaiian word for turmeric.
Why is there a Hawaiian name for a spice that's pretty much known throughout the world?
Originally brought here, Rach, by the Polynesians, who brought it along, the whole plant, and it was mashed up, juiced, and then given to people who are unwell for earache and sinus issues, and that's really how it came here.
So it's a flowering plant with white to green blooms. What part is used in cooking and medicine?
It's a beautiful plant, and we use the roots or the rhizomes, and they are crushed and dried, and then you have, therefore, the turmeric powder we see today.
Gotcha. So it's very commonly known for its colour, its smell, its taste, its medicinal properties.
Yes.
What exactly is it doing for our body?
It's an anti-inflammatory. That's the trend these days, Rachel. So we're talking about an interruption to a process where through injury or wear and tear or degeneration, we're using turmeric to interrupt the inflammatory cascade. And it does that beautifully because of the active ingredients, which are called curcuminoids. And for anyone with arthritis of any sort, brilliant option.
Amazing. So if I make a big curry, I use the spice, will I get the benefits from it?
You will get the benefits of taste. So from a taste perspective, brilliant. But really it doesn't deliver the therapeutic quantity to make a difference if you're using it for specific conditions. So a supplement's usually the best way.
Okay, so who then would benefit from that supplement? Can anyone take it?
Yes, well, for those, we're trying to keep people active, aren't we? That's our mission. So for those with joints that ache, for any diagnosed form of arthritis, for people concerned about their mobility, it's a perfect option.
Well, I knew this Hawaiian island was a wealth of wellness, and you've just confirmed it for me, GQ. Love the shirt. Hawaii really suits you.
Thank you, Rach.
And the A to Z of Vitamins is brought to you by Caruso's Natural Health Turmeric. Experiencing mild joint pain and inflammation? Then try Caruso's Turmeric.
feeling so strong.
From Bondi to Bankstown, poke bowls are taking over the world. But as a cook, it's not just about flavour for me. It's more about the heart and the soul of the food. And when it comes to poke bowls, that story starts right here.
Tucked away in the furthermost corner of this old strip mall, overlooking a car park in Midtown Honolulu, is a very small shop doing a very big business. And this is the man dishing up the local Ahi Tuna as it should be consumed. Fresh cut fish served in a takeaway container. The original, no frills poke bowl.
Imagine this, 50 people down this line, and here I come with these 100-pound tunas walking past them, and they're like, there's no bullshit in this. This is fresh.
Nice fish.
Josh Shade comes from a long line of fishermen. He and his dad Jeff epitomise the very special connection the Hawaiian people have with the sea.
Once you catch a fish, you're hooked for life. You know, that's it. I've been a fisherman my whole life. Love it, pass it on to my sons. I call it my church. I'm in heaven, I'm at church. I go out there and I pray to God and I love it and I look back at the land and just love every minute of it out there. I love it.
I can't quite articulate the passion these guys have for what they do. It's a whole other level of service that goes beyond just serving fresh fish.
And you walk into our place, our people are gonna serve you with aloha, with genuine aloha. It's like walking into our house. You walk into somebody's house here, they're gonna feed you. They're gonna send you away full. We try to evoke that same emotion here. This is our house. When you come to our house, we'll welcome you in. We're gonna make sure that you get a little bit of what our culture is as well as our food.
Nice fit.
Captain Noah always taking plenty of ice on board, even the days we don't catch.
Yeah.
But it'll always keep the beer cold, you know?
Of course, very, very important.
The approach is simple, fisherman to consumer, with no middleman and tons of love. Josh and his partner Erica slice and dice every fish they catch.
So we used to sell fish on the side of the road, and then on top of the side of the road, we used to sell on the back of our boat. Every day Josh would go fishing, we'd come home, and we'd cut the fish, pack it up, and try to sell it on the road as fast as we could so that he could get back on that boat.
Now, is this because you had too much fish for you guys to actually utilise yourself? Is that how it came about?
I would say so. One summer, Josh was doing really well, and people were making jokes that we were Ahi assassins. So that's kind of how we got our name.
Is that just because you were slaying so many ahi?
Yes, absolutely.
It's such a cool name, and they are slaying it. And no wonder. Check out the colour of this 15-kilo beauty.
This is a perfect poke specimen. If you're looking at the color here, it's of a light red, like chartreuse pink, I guess.
Yeah,
not as vibrant as a chartreuse is. You don't want it to be too vibrant because then that's a telltale sign of it's been carbon monoxide gassed. Here at Ahi Assassins and in Hawaii, majority of us don't believe in that.
Every day, hundreds of people come to the modest fish house on the first floor for a taste of tuna to go, Ahi Assassin style.
Thank you so much.
How do you get people here?
They come for the freshness, they come for the food, and I guess sometimes they come for us.
There's a real grassroots movement to maintain the culture of feeding people with the very best from the sea. Freshly caught and straight to the plate, where nothing goes to waste.
Nice. Like, I'm so proud of where he's taken it. He's taken it so much further beyond than just a fisherman. You know, he's able to employ several people. He provides food for a lot of the homeless and to so many different people. And they know of him already. Like, he's semi-famous here in the islands just for Ahi Assassins. Him and Erica are giving back. They give back to what I taught them about fishing and giving. I used to give fish away. They give more than fish. They give their time, their money, their energy, everything back.
When they have our poke, it's not only about the taste. Many chefs all over the world can make great tasting poke or great tasting dishes. What you get with us is that aloha in every bite. There is a special magic that happens when people care for not only the product that they're serving, but the people they're serving it to.
Hey, you didn't think I'd leave you guys out, did you? Fresh poke, eh?
Oh, mate, right in your zone. We've only scratched the surface in Hawaii, Rach, but what's been your favourite so far?
Definitely the Lomi Mesa. Just learning about the significance behind it made it so much better.
Oh, the connection to the culture is really beautiful, and the stories in the sand just wrapped it up. I loved it.
Love the poke bowl, Hinesy, and you love your food. What's been your favourite?
I'm in absolute foodie heaven, so much so that I'm not going anywhere. Next week, I'm going to check out the island's food trucks.
And Rachel and I are going to get our hands dirty in an effort to give back to this beautiful place.
I love that story. And that's all we've got time for this week on the House of Wellness. Go to houseofwellness.com.au. Thanks to Hawaiian Tropic and Chemist Warehouse. We're going to be back here in Hawaii again next week. Make sure you join us on the House of Wellness.